Oh. Hello. So, a few minutes late, put my kid to bed, and of course, fell asleep myself. I woke up 5 minutes ago. So now I gotta get Phil in here. Everything's all jacked up. Oh, Phil. Anyways, we're here. Link's going out. Just a few minutes behind. All right. That's all done. Someone's here. Billy lives.
What's up?
I'm late.
Yes, you are.
That's what's up. Dude, I put...
What's up?
What's up, Thomas? So I put Ellie to bed, and I let her sleep in our bed until Katie gets home in a little bit. And so I laid down. I'm like, just don't fall asleep. Like, you know, stay awake, which didn't happen. So I just woke up not knowing what hour it was or what planet I was on. And,
Yeah, I texted Phil and I was like, is this thing happening or what? He said he fell asleep. Yeah.
I did fall asleep. And of course, I mean, it's nice to know that people care, because I had people message me and text me like, when are you starting? So at least we got people that are clamoring for it now, I guess, on Mondays. So I sent Phil the link, so he should be here any minute now. Yeah, I'm all discombobulated. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So
We did a lot of work today with all the caging.
yeah, did some shifting around. The scrub is now in the snake room with everything else. I fed most of the adult stuff. I fed all the rat snakes their last meal of the year before I put them down come Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So it'll be nice not having to feed like half the collection, for the next 3 months. I can really start loading up on mice and stuff too, so it's good.
Was it just the corns and the beards?
Yeah. That'll give me time to get the mice going and really load the freezer up.
Do they breed as well when it's colder out?
I was told they'll, like, even if it's colder, they tend to breed more, but if it's hot, like, they don't breed as much. But it could be the opposite.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know anything about them.
They don't seem like they've really been slowing down for me at all, especially with all the crazy ups and downs we've been having.
Yeah.
I haven't been having any problems, so.
Cool. Yeah, stock up then.
There he is. He lives.
Hey, Philip.
Well,
hello. How do I sound with this new headset?
Oh, we got a headset.
I'm borrowing it from
You
a
look like a
gamer
pilot.
phone.
Fine.
Yeah. Does it sound all right?
It's a little It's a little like hissy.
Oh no, that's the sprinklers because the maintenance guy changed the time.
Okay,
Nice.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So I'm not 5 minutes and 44 seconds late.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we already talked about it.
Billy and I. Oh, so I missed that. That's great.
Yeah. You were late.
Forgot to add one of the hosts
did
of the
miss
show to the thing. I get it. It's cool. It's good. Very, very professional.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I was putting Ellie to bed, and I told myself I wasn't gonna fall asleep, but I fell asleep, and then I woke up not knowing if it was like 8:50 or like midnight. Checked my phone. It was like 9:06, so very quickly got everything together, and yeah, here we are. I'm still half asleep,
Nice.
but we are joined by Andrew here, who is Beaver Tobacco's rep for Aganorsa Leaf. Which
Nice.
He was also he was into snakes either currently or at one point. I don't know if you're
but not currently.
Oh, okay, I got you. So, in honor of that, I'm smoking this Guardian of the Farm. Is this considered the cabinet?
Technically, they're all cabinet, but what you're probably thinking of is the Apollo, which is the selection, the warped cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that one size.
I got you. Yeah, this is the JJ, and this is a 52 ring gauge, if I'm not mistaken, or a 50. And it's
52, 5.5
yeah,
by 52.
this blend in this ring gauge is very, very good. So it's been my go-to with that stuff lately.
I'm glad you're liking it, man.
Is it me or is Andrew a little quiet?
I think it's you because
he's
I
low.
think your mic is like, I don't know. It sounds like you're staticky.
I don't know. I tend to be soft-spoken.
No, I don't think it's your soft spokenness. You're very articulate. It's the volume on my end is a little. It's probably because of the friggin' sprinklers. I'm wondering if I should just unplug and use my normal thing.
No, he's low on mine, too.
Okay.
Oh, just a heads up. I will try to mute if it happens, but I do have a train pass nearby on occasion.
Oh.
Nice.
Billy, what are you drinking?
Some Oktoberfest I still had.
Excellent. Justin, I love the new layout with the PSP in the middle and the snakes and stogies and such.
Thank you. I created that today.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks good.
Dude, those sprinklers are killing me.
Hang on.
There you go.
Yeah, stop, Phil.
It's because he muted himself.
Oh.
I also got a haircut, so all my hair's gone. We had Steve Saka come and hang out at the shop, so I got a Saka Squatch beanie.
I saw that. It's usually a lot of fun when Sokka's around.
Yeah, it was the first time I met him. We were there until like freaking 1 a.m. We were at the shop.
Hello?
So. Hello.
Now I can't hear any of you. Great.
The sprinklers are a little bit quieter.
Oh, hello?
Hello.
Hello. Phil's gone.
Like he left? No, he did.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't see him.
Anyways, so you are smoking a lunatic, though it looks like.
I am. I'm smoking the Lunatic Short Titan with the Maduro wrapper. Really nice smoke, rich, earthy, kind of woodsy.
Yeah, and we had a dual event that you were not able to make it to, but
Unfortunately, yes.
we had an event with you guys and Gurkha, and we had like the 2 bags with the
fumas.
the wrappers, yeah.
Yeah,
And it
those
was.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Making sure Phil's alive.
Okay, cool. Yeah, those are a pretty interesting experience. That's something we normally try to do when the rep is there, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I couldn't do anything about that one. But what it is you've got a cutting of a Criollo 98 and Corojo 99 tobacco leaf from our farms in Jalapa and Esteli.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have the smoker light them up one at a time, walk them through what they're experiencing with each one, and then combine the two at the end so you get a pretty clear idea of what it is you're tasting when you are experiencing Aganorsis signature flavor profile
Mm-hmm.
and how we get to it in the blending process.
Yeah, we had a few people do it, and Rod showed me sort of the email that basically broke down what you were supposed to do, and I did it myself. And seeing the difference between that Criollo and that Corojo is really interesting. I mean, Corojo is probably my favorite wrapper, and I mean, given what you guys do and stuff, I think you guys probably do it better than anyone else in the industry as far as Corojo goes. So.
We're actually one of the only manufacturers in Nicaragua that grows Corojo in Nicaragua.
Phil?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just making sure you're alive. You look defeated.
No, I muted it because the sprinklers would turn off eventually. So I figured while you guys were
Oh.
commiserating and I was having the worst technical difficulties of any show of all time, I would mute myself. Yeah. Got 1,000 a night. Got a headset with echo and noise and static. I got sprinklers going off, getting me all wet and not in a good way. My co-host doesn't even invite me to my own show.
Hey. I was asleep, damn it.
Our pets' heads are falling off. What do you mean you were asleep? When I come into the show, the ticker on the top says it was already live for 5 minutes and a half.
Because I got it started. I was like, we're late. Let's go.
You didn't send me the link.
I sent it to you on Facebook.
I got it the minute I jumped in.
Whatever. We're here. That's all that matters.
We are here. Billy looking debonair as usual.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I don't.
Dead, soulless
I don't
eyes.
smoke, so yeah.
So what's the main difference between Corojo and Criollo? Because Corojo is more sort of true to the original Cuban tobacco, isn't it?
In a way, yes. A lot of Corojo is grown in Cuba, was grown in Cuba. Corojo 99 originated from a Cuban seed varietal.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, all the tobacco that we grow comes from Cuban seed Corojo 99. The big difference between the two is Criollo 99 typically tends to be sweeter, creamier, a little more mellow to the palate, kind of earthy. There's always some spice present in any tobacco, so you get a little spiciness there. Whereas Criollo is really what we tend to associate with Nicaraguan tobacco. It tends to be fuller flavored, really rich, intense. It's in your face. Some people find it a little spicier than Corojo. I do personally. And it has this really interesting, just roundness of flavor. It really, anything you put with it, including our Corojo, it really helps balance out the other tobacco.
Yeah, it's odd how well they work together, because the way I sort of described the Criollo when I was smoking it and had some customers doing the comparison was that I found that the Criollo was just a little almost like smoky, not like Kentucky Fire Cured smoky, but it had like this sort of woodsiness to it. It was much sharper than the Corojo wrapper.
It is. Yeah, that's that.
And it was
what I typically describe as intensity of flavor.
Mm-hmm. But it was awesome. It was really good. And then, like I said, like being completely different flavor wise, them coming together and working as well together is kind of not what you would expect. So
yeah, it works
cool.
really well. It's usually a surprise to the customer when they're smoking the tobacco. It's a fun experience.
Mm-hmm.
I always get a giggle out of seeing people's faces light up once they start realizing the differences between the two tobaccos, and watch them, smoke both of them together, do the Cheech and Chong thing, and all of a sudden they get this light bulb moment. It's a lot of fun.
I was literally smoking both of them at the same time, like I had both in my mouth.
That's what you're supposed to do, so good job.
But that's the kind of stuff that I wish we did more of. Like, we have a lot of customers, a lot of regulars that want sort of that education, and they want to know more than just what they see, you know, in the reviews as far as like the blend and stuff like that. So
that's why
that
we
kind
do
of stuff's
within
awesome.
We found that customers as a whole are really eager to learn more about tobacco. It's a really nice thing to see. So we're really big on education about our tobaccos at Aganorsa Leaf.
But that's the kind of stuff that we talk about a lot on here. You know, is all the stuff that I've learned being at the shop. You know, you worked at a brick and mortar at 1.2.
For 7 years.
Phil, what are you smoking?
Tonight I am Black Market.
Oh.
It's actually my first one of these. I don't even know which. I don't remember which one it was, and I ditched the wrapper like a moron. But it's really, really good. At least first impressions.
Yeah, I always enjoyed the Alec Bradley Black Market. I thought it was a really solid smoke.
Yeah.
So, what's everyone been up to this weekend?
Working, cleaning snakes. I moved the scrub into the main room. He's out of the closet and still, he's not completely full of hatred, but he's got plenty of it to go around. So.
I see you got that sweet beanie.
Huh?
So I see you got that sweet beanie.
Yeah, man. Dude, like, these things are solid. Like, Saka spared no expense when it comes to the quality of these things. Like, it's super thick. But he's from New Hampshire, so he's like, I don't give people paper thin beanies. He's like, where I come from, it better work, or, you know. So.
Yeah. So how long before you steal that Squatch statue?
I don't know. I should have snagged one while he was there and had him sign it. I didn't have him sign anything. People had him signing all kinds of stuff. I didn't have anything to sign, so it was
it's tough, man.
Have him sign my titties or something? What am I supposed to do?
It's tough when you're the host. You know what I mean? Like you have to put the fangirl aside, you know, and like be a professional, you know.
And yes,
Raj was asking him more questions than me.
Yeah, but that's Raj.
I was just paying attention. I was just sitting back, listening, sponging all the information I can. You know?
Yeah. I get it.
But, I mean, that's like the first time I met Andrew. I think I was working on the magazine or something when he came in, and, you know, I was wearing a shirt or something snake related, and
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and he told me that he at one point was keeping some stuff, and, you know, we talked about the mag a little bit, and I give him major props because he came in for a long time and Raj hadn't ordered anything, but he stayed on top of him, and eventually Raj broke. But I mean, the Aganorsa stuff has actually been doing super well for us.
Nice.
So especially the Guardian stuff, I recommend a ton of it to people. Like that JJ, like I said, that's just such a good size and such a good blend. You know, price point's really good, cigars are really good. So.
Yeah, it hits that nice sweet spot for most people in the $7, $8, $9 range. Not too terribly expensive, and anybody can smoke it and enjoy it. It's mellow enough that if you're a mild cigar smoker, you can still get into it. But if you're a fuller-bodied cigar smoker, it still has enough flavor behind it that you still like it at all.
Definitely.
Well, I want to hear about Billy's parents. Because Billy had some very attractive lockups this week.
Yeah, I did.
He's breeding hybrids. Burn his house down.
So, the one I keep showing you guys is a caramel head albino to an albino jag. So, Mail's all about it, so hopefully that works out.
Ooh, funny story. So Irvin, who lives up in your area there, Andrew.
Oh, really?
He used to go to the shop that he used to work at.
Boda?
I don't know. I need to get his ass in here. Where's he at? Irvin. He's like, yeah, I think it's the same guy that used to work at the shop near me that I used to go to, or he
I
goes
thought
to
Thomas
currently.
was joining us tonight.
Everything's all discombobulated, right? I thought I sent him a link, but it was like, what a small world, you know? That's he's about to jump in here in a second, but
You'd be surprised how often that happens to me. I mean, I've met people that I knew as customers from Boda in West Virginia on the other end of my territory. So, oh, looks like we lost someone.
well, I guess Billy just decided we can go to hell, so. Yeah, I found that to be the case. You go to other shops and you ask who their rep is for, Drew Estate or whatever, and they're like, oh, it's Will, and it's like, hey, mine too, and
Yep.
There's Thomas.
What's up?
Yay.
What's up, Thomas?
How y'all doing today?
So how come Thomas sounds like he's in a NBC studio in Manhattan? And my
Because he has a
headset,
Sennheiser headset, not
His
the freaking
headset's
Turtle
better than
Beach.
yours.
Money covers
Thomas.
the multitude of sins.
I need the
Right.
link to that headset. So
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I need to get one too. Straight up be like a radio, like the it could be like sportscasters.
Pretty much.
yeah, I feel like he's in the tower giving us, clearance.
Yeah, he's
Thomas, what are you smoking?
doing good.
The
Hey, Aganorsa Leaf Corojo.
oh yeah, I got it from Justin, and I've had this stick before. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a killer stick. Corojo
Yeah, the
99.
Corojo is definitely my favorite of the three.
Oh, yeah. It's the best selling of the three as well. Although the Connecticut, believe it or not, is the second best selling.
Oh, so we got the Corojo, the Maduro, and the Habano. So of the four, I guess the Corojo is my favorite, but the Connecticut,
Yeah.
I definitely want to try.
Didn't you send me some, Justin? I don't think I've had any JFR Connecticut stuff.
I don't think I sent you any of the JFR stuff other than the torch.
Yeah.
He bought a box for that event, and I mailed it to him. So
Oh, nice. I appreciate it.
yeah. So he got a lot of Guardians and some other odds and ends. I honestly don't even remember exactly what it is I sent you.
Yeah.
He said I trust your judgment, and I just threw a box together. And
Well, it hasn't failed me yet.
Well, if you
Then my
like
job is
anything in
done.
the box, you'll probably like all of it.
Yep.
Tom said this looks like a Sasquatch Brady Bunch intro.
Trying to say something?
Huh? Yeah. Everyone but Billy. Billy's the only one who looks out of place here.
Yeah, but Billy has a real job where he's not allowed to shave.
I couldn't grow it if I wanted to.
I kind of want to see that.
You don't.
Not to scare you off from ever eating in a restaurant again, but I worked in the restaurant industry for a couple of years and never had to shave any of this off.
Yee.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Billy's not adopted. Billy is. What's the word I'm looking for?
You're adopted, Dom.
We met her mom. I guarantee you she's not, because they're very. I mean, you could tell that they're related. Just like, I mean, Phil, like my dad, like I'm a clone of my father. You can ask
Legit.
him. It's,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Billy in this Brady Bunch scenario is very much Alice. And he's just waiting for Sam the Butcher to come home. was a bad joke for all of the
So,
viewers and
sorry,
listeners
Phil.
over the age of 40.
I wish I could fake laugh for you. I couldn't.
I'm saying
I know Jackson
I don't know what
the joke.
I don't know what the word is for it. Reminiscent, like
Resemblance.
I don't. Yes, there you go. Thank you. There is. It's doesn't matter. It's your mom. We know it's your mom. You're related. Jesus. So how you worked at a shop upstate?
Yep, upstate South
How did
Carolina.
you go from? How did you go from that to getting into the rep thing? Because the rep thing is tough. I don't think a lot of people realize like being a cigar rep is. I think no matter what company you work for, is tough because you have a huge territory. You're on the road pretty much 5 days a week.
Yeah, there
And
are
it's-
very few companies that I would say the reps have an easy job.
Mhm.
Typically, you are on the road 5 out of 6 weeks, and even on that 6th week, you're still on the road. You're just doing local stuff, so you're still sleeping in your own bed at night instead of a hotel room. But it's not the easiest job in the world. You've got to really love your windshield. You got to love to travel. You got to be willing to deal with all kinds of interesting types of people. It's
Like
like
Phil.
any other sales job as far as that goes.
Like that.
But as
Yeah,
for how I got into it, it was kind of a dead man's shoes situation.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all rep jobs are that way. They don't come available very often. You don't give up a rep job easily. If you are into it, you stick with it for a while. You don't want to let it go. It's a lot of fun. But basically, I knew the right person at the right time. So it just worked out in my favor.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I think like if I were single and didn't didn't have anything else going on, I probably would give it a shot. But I also feel like after like 6 months, I'd probably be so burnt out socially. Because I'm not a super social person, but I can totally see there being like you have an event in an upcoming week and you're like, I have zero desire to talk to people and like be hassled by people for free shit and like just there's certain personality. I mean, it's sales. Like there's a certain personality type where sales works, you know.
And I think, Justin, you've said it before, but like cigars, you gotta sell the story, right? So like that's kind of your whole job. I don't know if Andrew, you agree with that or not.
Oh, 100%. That was one of my favorite sales tools when I was working in a brick and mortar cigar shop was the story behind the cigars. I promise you, I sold more cigars out of our humidor by having a story to tell about them than anything else regarding the blend, the type of tobaccos that are in it, how it was made, who made it, any of that. If there's a story, it sells.
Well, I have 3 new guys working with me now, and it's interesting because none of them have ever, worked retail before, and they're learning the types of customers. It's almost like that one scene in the movie Clerks. Clerks is one of my all-time favorite movies. Well, he basically is giving the rundown of the different types of customers that come in. You know, like the complainer or the milkmaid. You know, the egg guy who checks every single egg to make sure that it's the freshest or whatever. Excuse me. And I had a guy come in today with his 2 little friends, a little entourage he had. And I always refer to these guys as the askers. And basically what they do is they come into your store and they ask for the most obscure product ever in hopes that you don't have it so that they can be like, you don't have that, really? And they have no money and they don't intend on buying anything. But I love it. And I mean this with genuine passion. I love when I have everything they ask for.
Oh, yeah.
And then they complain about the price.
Yeah, when you get to say yes and you watch their face just kind of drop, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Or my favorite one is, I've been looking for this for 6 months. I can't believe you have it. Oh, it's that much? Yeah, I'll pass today. It's like, really? You've been looking for 6 months and you don't have the money saved?
Champagne tastes on a beer budget, man.
Extremely common.
Super common, especially in cigars.
The first guy, the asker, that I love it when I have everything that they ask for and they buy nothing. I love that. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing a job as an inventory guy.
Yeah, probably the funniest analog in the cigar world, and I'm sure Justin has seen this happen many, many a time. But you've always got this guy who comes in, usually not a regular cigar smoker, might even be his first cigar. And the first thing they want to do is come in and ask for a Cuban cigar. And of course, you go through the whole spiel of explaining to them that it's not legal to sell them in this country, where Cuban embargo, blah, 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 still exists. How about that? But once you get through that, you start recommending them cigars that are going to have a Cuban-esque flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the Guardian of the Farm is a really good Cuban-esque flavor profile. But once you start recommending them these cigars and they realize, oh, these cigars are $7, $8, $10, $15 a piece, all of a sudden they start saying, well, what do you have in the $2 price range? And that's when you say, follow me to my bundle section, sir.
Well, then that question is followed up by, are they good?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I mean,
Is it worth $16?
it's a cigar. Like, do I smoke them on a regular basis? No, but we sell an absolute ton of them. I have a lot of guys get them for golf. A lot of guys get them for their buddies who don't smoke. And so it's like...
Yeah.
Yep. I have
They're
a
not
bundle of those
horrible.
Castor Fernandez bundled sticks just for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even, like, we have just some... They're not even labeled. They're just generic, like, Dominican... We sell them 4 for $10, and they sell like crazy. You know, and then you have guys who are cigar smokers that are into cigars, and they're like, are they any good? And I'm like, it's a $3 cigar, man. Like, if you're expecting anything more than a $3 cigar, then you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
But for a $3 cigar, that's not bad.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a bad cigar, but $3 is what you're going to get out of it. You have to be willing to accept that fact.
To this day, my favorite cheap cigar ever, and I buy them when I see them because they're few and far between, and the ones that you do find are usually 10 or 15 years old. They've been sitting in the cabinet for that long. But it's the quintessential gas station Churchill, Antony y Cleopatra.
Oh, I haven't seen those in forever.
And it's like $12 for 50.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're
And
cheap, and they're not
they
bad.
are not, they're just good enough that the person you give it to says, wow, this is pretty all right. You know what I mean? But like, you really don't want to smoke them yourself.
Yeah.
I have people come in all the time. Go
What was
ahead.
that?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, that's the kind of cigar you keep in the humidor for when you have a friend over who says, I really want a cigar, but they light it and smoke on it for 2 minutes and then throw it in the ashtray.
Oh, just like Dominique. The last episode of THP. Where is she? Is she still here?
Ooh.
I think... Oh, I don't have that cigar. I threw it away, but... Got her a damn Brick House, Connecticut. She took like 3 puffs and never finished it.
That's such a good cigar.
It is a very good cigar.
That's one of the best Connecticut's on the market.
Dude, that one in a Corona especially. I mean, I'm a big Corona guy anyways, but that... Very good. I have people come in all the time looking to buy for weddings and stuff like that, and they're like, you know, I want to get... You know, they want to jump straight to buying like a full box of something sort of... I won't necessarily say higher end, but... And I usually tell them, it's like, if you have buddies that smoke, buy them the higher end stuff. If you're buying for the general, like, reception, don't dump a ton of money into it, because guarantee you, people are going to...
Get a nice pretty bucket to put it in, you're done.
Yep. People are going to get drunk. People ain't going to finish their cigars. People are going to take 2 puffs and forget about it or trash it. You know, I mean, minus, I think the cigar bar at the wedding was pretty legit for me, just because Phil can back that up. I only got a handful of cigars from it, but...
It was a fantastic selection, and that's why they all were gone.
Yep. Yeah, people
A
were
lot of
probably stuffing their
Ligas.
pockets.
A lot of Ligas, a lot of Roma Craft, a lot of Undercrown.
That's not a cheap wedding.
Well, my uncle's a big cigar smoker. He's a regular at the shop, and he's like, I'll buy cigars for the wedding. And he already knows what I like, so he's the one who did it. So.
And the bourbon, don't forget the bourbon.
They did a good job on that too.
They did a great job.
There was no survivors on that either. There's a little bit. I still have some on top of the fridge actually. But
Your guests can definitely drink, by the way. So, Thomas, what are you drinking tonight?
Gin out of a shot glass.
What kind of gin?
Costco gin. Only the best here.
Makes you feel like a giant when he drinks it with like that.
I'll tell you what.
Hey, don't knock it. Costco's liquor's usually pretty good.
I was just
Not
gonna
bad.
say, Costco gin is one of the best gins for the money on the
Yes.
market.
Yeah, I'm not like a connoisseur of like liquor in general, but I like that stuff, especially with a cigar. I don't know how strong body or like that sort of stuff's going to be.
How flowery is the Costco? Because I've not had it.
Does it come in a 5-gallon bucket?
It comes in like 1.5 liters.
Nice.
I don't see. That's the kind of stuff though. Like people are looking for that kind of thing all the time. Like in cigars, like they want the best cigar for the money. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's what I really look for. I mean
Yeah.
the full.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost him.
Thomas, come back.
It was nice talking to Thomas.
Yeah, we knew him well.
I love
Oh wait,
that.
there he is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay.
Well, those are the kind of guys that are usually very open to my recommendations and are usually pretty happy with them. It's the guys that are like looking, they only smoke Opus, and so they're looking for this.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I really can't help because I feel like anything I tell you that you should try, you're probably going to scoff at.
I can't deal with the Camacho guys. The Camacho guys and the David. No, you know what? I take it back. The Davidoff guys.
I was
The
going to say,
Davidoff guys.
Camacho guys aren't that bad.
Yeah, but they're still a little like they wish it was the Ferrari, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Davidoff guys. The Davidoff guys are the ones who come in and they say, "I just bought a Mercedes. Look at me." Meanwhile, it's like a used C series with like 50,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Like, really, bro? Davidoff, come on.
I had a guy in the shop Saturday night complaining about a Tatiana,
Really?
a $5 Tatiana.
How can a Tatiana be wrong? Let me guess, Groovy Blue.
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's soft. And then I was like, dude, they're all soft. That's how they're rolled. Like, not every company rolls the same. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to get another one. And so I took it out. He's like, this one's a different color than that one. I was like, well, it's a different box. Different batches. You're going to get variations in color. Like, I was like, it ain't going to matter. And he's like, okay, well, this is after I rung it up. Like, cash it out and everything. He's like, I'm just going to stick to the one I have. So I was like, motherfucker, like... I talk about those guys all the time, like the dudes that roll up in like a Mercedes. They got the the freaking Omega watch and the newest biggest iPhone and all the fanciest shit, and then they're like complaining about a $5 cigar, and it's like,
Yeah.
fake. Champagne tastes on a beer budget. You ain't fooling anybody. I hate that shit so much.
But then again, I am what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a spoiled brat. And because I have the good taste and I live outside my means when it comes to my vices. But I'm also really snobby and I have to fight that back. Like, I have to fight that back real hard. So I'm not that guy.
In terms of what?
That's fair.
Like firearms?
Just in a lot of stuff. I think working retail as long as I have, and shit, it's going on 15, 16 years now. And I learned that, you get what you pay for, flat out. You know what I mean? But I've also been very selective into what I get into. So whether it be smokes or guns or booze or whatever, I'm always the first one to say, yeah, you can buy that. It'll be good. But if you really want good, why wouldn't you just buy this? And I like to live vicariously through that. And I hope that it doesn't come off as snooty. But like my roommate, for example, he always calls me smug. And I think it's hilarious because he's one of the most smug guys I know. And I hope he can fucking hear me. But it's just funny because like sometimes I question myself. And I'm like, was that smug? You know what it was, and I kind of don't care. That was smug.
Yeah, I definitely fall into that trap too with cigars and gear. It's like, oh, you have the whatever, and it's like a $10 item, and you compare it to a $30 stick or whatever you're talking about, and it's kind of like my friends have called me out on that, especially with cigars.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Like, I mean, I've had Opus and stuff, and honestly, Opus stuff doesn't really impress me all that much. I don't find that it's anything life-changing. It's all about the hype of, not being able to find it, and because it's a lot of stuff in the industry like that gets so hyped up that by the time you have it, you're kind of let down because it's not what you were expecting. Like, I mean, the Opus I had at the wedding were really good. I like that. It was definitely more peppery than I was expecting. It was much more upfront than I was expecting, but is that something that I would go out of my way to buy again when I can buy, more of these Guardians or more Roma? Like, and that's what I tell people all the time. Like, I don't recommend stuff to people if I don't think it's worth the money. Like, if it's, you're looking at the ESGs, which are very good cigars. It's like, yeah, you can buy that, or you can buy like 4 of this, which I love and smoke all the time. I guess it depends on if you're wanting to sort of ball out and it's a special occasion, then go nuts. But I'm more of a blue collar guy when it comes to cigars, and I think a lot of customers at the shop, and I'm sure you noticed that too, upstate. But it also depends on the shop, because you get some shops that are like super bougie and white collar, and then you have shops that are, I think, like Beaver Tobacco, which are much more sort of, we're just guys. We like cigars just like everybody else.
Yeah, we were the Old Town Tobacco Shop, the oldest cigar shop in the upstate of South Carolina. Well, we were a few years ago. Before that, there was another shop older than Boda, but the owner passed away and the kids let the shop go. So, but basically, we were the old game in town, so everybody in town came to us, and most of that was blue collar guys. Guys working at the BMW plant, working at Michelin, the old textile mills when they still existed in the upstate of Greenville.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that I notice in the like, I go to Boda all the time, like once or twice a week, and the competitors to it, Outman's, and it especially has like a different clientele. Like Outman's is a little bit more kind of bougie, but it's a rocky lounge, so I kind of like their cigars. But the atmosphere at Boda is, in my opinion, the best. It's
a laid-back place. Anybody can just chill out and have a good time there.
Yep.
And that makes a huge difference, I think, because people who are just sort of getting into cigars, when they go into that higher end sort of joint, it's a little more intimidating. Like, people are a little more nervous to ask for help because they feel like they're going to kind of get like mocked or.
Absolutely.
And so we try to make it. I personally try to make it. If it's someone who's new, try to I want them to be completely comfortable and be willing to ask me questions and not be afraid and feel like it's some sort of snobby sort of thing. And I think it's a lot more blue collar now than people think it is. Because I think it was at one point a very white collar thing, cigars, and then over time I think it's kind of morphed into the everyman, everyday kind of thing. So.
Oh, most definitely.
Well, in my line of work, I deal with a lot of beginners and a lot of newbies, and that's almost become like my forte. Excuse me. And I would rather them ask me a lot of questions that to the normal person would seem asinine or redundant. But I'd rather them ask me, because I would tell them flat out. I said, listen, if you don't ask, you'll never know. Or you'll get wrong information, and then you'll be messed up,
Yeah.
So that's how I always approach that. But Billy was kind enough to send me some of the pairing pictures. If you want to throw them up.
He did. Look at this Frankensteining.
That's not Frankensteining.
It's not. I just like to ruffle Billy's feathers.
I don't post the Frankenstein stuff.
So what are we looking at here, Billy?
Those are snakes.
Those are carpet pipe house.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, You're welcome.
So that is now BioJag to a Dang it. I'm so out of place. To a caramel head albino. Thanks, Bill.
Those are also
the
snakes.
temperatures haven't really dropped, but these guys are going at it like crazy, so I'm hoping this pairing really goes for me.
If she lays, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of that clutch. That could be interesting.
Yeah, the caramel albinos are really nice. They have like this deeper orange tone to them than the albino does there, so we'll see what happens.
What do you have cooking on the IJ front?
I have a pair of farmbreds right now. I'm considering a granite to a farmbred female to do some outcross hets. I think that's it this year for IJs.
Right on.
So hopefully those go. The one male farmbred I have is really nice, and I'm really want to try to get his characteristics to get passed on if they can, because he's striped and he has portholes on him and an ocelot type pattern. He's really nice.
Awesome.
Actually, let me see if I can find a picture of him for you guys.
Phil? Oh, he's alive. Okay. I thought you were frozen.
No, I was trying to mess with the mic because I'm getting a pretty bad echo on my end, so I want to make sure it wasn't my microphone.
Oh, I got you. Bill had a
so am I, so if I'm talking weird, sorry.
Bill had a gun question. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Yeah. The excuse me. So I think the Apex flat trigger is a phenomenal bang for the buck, pun intended. I'm not a big fan of putting aftermarket triggers in carry guns.
Oh man!
Awesome, Billy.
Dude, that's my favorite snake that you have, dude.
Why didn't you send me that picture, Billy?
You want me to? Here, I'll send it.
Yeah, we send everything to Phil so he can post it because he's got the fancy Mac magic. So.
Alright, sorry, I didn't realize the process.
That is my favorite snake that you own for real, though. Like, everything you own, like that carpet is just, that thing blows my mind every time I see it.
Wait, you haven't seen everything I own.
I have.
You did like 2 years ago.
That's still my favorite, regardless. Even over I'll even say over the chondros. That is my favorite snake that you own. Bar none.
Wow, that's a big statement.
That's a very big statement.
That is a big statement.
Meanwhile, I feel like garbage because I insulted Camacho and our sponsor that happens to be their favorite smoke. Great. It's great. Sorry, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff is a big Camacho guy. I like Camacho. I don't have any problems with it. I was really disappointed with that shellback. I got so excited to try that shellback, and I smoked it, and I was like, really disappointed with it.
I haven't had a Camacho. I need to...
Just to finish on Bill's thing about the Apex trigger, I think it's a phenomenal bang for the buck, but I don't like doing aftermarket triggers and carry guns because you're depending your life on it. And to me, having the smooth, fancy, sexy trigger is awesome, but in an oh shit scenario, it's kind of irrelevant to me.
Well, what about like a connector, like what I did with mine?
A connector's different because of the factory Glock bar.
It made a huge difference. I mean,
it does.
It's amazing that a single part can change the the fluidity of a pole.
Right, and now you have certain companies like Glock that are starting to do minus disconnects and minus connectors and stuff in factory guns because originally there was a reason why they didn't have that in it, whether it be for a drop test rating in the Democratic Republic of California, or if it was a New York thing where the trigger pull has to be so many pounds. Now they kind of just have a California gun, they have a New York compliant gun, and then everybody else gets like the norm. So. And
I have the maritime cups in case I ever find myself in the swamp with my Glock having to shoot an alligator or a shark.
Which is brilliant. Just remember.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Boys and girls never fire hollow points underwater.
Oh yeah, that probably doesn't work very well, does it?
Mm.
I never thought about that, so I guess I'm kind of screwed anyways, because that's what I keep in mind, so.
Yeah.
But Andrew's a gun guy too, ain't you?
A little bit. I used to be a lot
Yeah.
more of a gun guy, but my budget has become extremely limited over the last few years. So trigger time has been much, much less than I'd like.
I've been
But yeah,
saying for years I
just,
want a Glock 19, and I don't know when it's going to happen.
see, I've never been a Glock guy. No offense to anybody who is a Glock fan, but in my hands, they feel like a boat paddle. They're not comfortable. I'm more of a CZ kind of guy.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
There we go.
before I show pictures of those amazing animals,
Phil's got a boner.
kind of in the queue. So I normally wear this shirt on Mondays, which is why I've actually worn it like the past 4 episodes. But I'm a master Glock dealer, and I give them full credit and full respect as being one of the greatest combat handguns ever made. However, I do not like the way that it works for me. I do not think it is the greatest beginner gun of all time. And to be honest, I'm going to say something that's going to piss off a lot of people
Because
in the
it's
world.
the greatest gun of all time.
No, it's not.
Ooh, yeah. Nah.
The reason why people are so infatuated with the name Glock is 2 reasons. One, they're associating a style of product with a name brand. It would basically be like someone going into a auto mall and saying, I want a Chevy, but they really just mean pickup truck. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get people every single day that says, oh, these are all the Glocks you have, and they point at the cabinets, and it's like 8 cabinets. I'm like, no, Glock's a brand, not a type of firearm. So that always bothers me. But the other reason is because, let's be real, it's idiot-proof. And police
That's why I have one.
excuse me, police departments and police academies and security firms, they don't want to teach double action, single action combination with a hammer. They want to teach stick the magazine in, pull the slide to the rear, and go.
Yeah.
So because of that, you have all these police departments and agencies across the world transitioning to a double action only style just because they want to make sure that their students are not total morons.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which I don't agree with in this capacity.
Bill said they're not the best anything. It can't be the best if you immediately swap parts upon purchase.
Spend $600 on a gun, then put $1,000 into it to make it good.
Yeah, but that's the thing is you're not making it good. You're hooking it up. It's no different than the guy that buys, a Honda Civic and wants to put the suspension and the exhaust and this and that, and it's the same thing. It's just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. And some people want to have the souped up Honda Civic,
Yeah.
So
they're cool, but not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I own a couple, but it's not my go-to.
You got a 19?
Yeah. Me personally, at the store.
You?
No.
Well, my birthday's coming up, so hint, hint. Hook me up with that discount, son.
Yeah. In times of COVID, you're hilarious.
I was going to say, the man probably doesn't have a gun on the shelf to sell.
No,
it's getting real weird.
Yeah.
Things are getting a little squirrely.
We do, and I'm blessed to work where I work because we have a very good relationship with our distribution, and I'm able to acquire a lot of stuff that a lot of people can't. But the difference is, in the past, if I was running low on Glock 19s, I would just call up 2 or 3 different distributors, and I get 10 from this guy, 20 from that guy, and I'd have them in 3 days and be done with it. And all of a sudden, now I'm back from 5 to 50. Now I can't do that. So I'm lucky if I get 3 or 4 Glock 19s a day or 3 or 4 Glock 19s a week, which is very scary at times for my kind of store. But like I said, we've been blessed with having the distribution and keeping the shelves full to the fullest extent that we can, and go from there. I actually did I was curious. SIG came out with a gun this past year called the 365, which is a really, really great little carry gun. So just out of morbid curiosity, I went in my bound book and I looked up how many I've sold, period, since the gun's inception. And then I looked up how many just in 2020, just 2020. And our store is at 167 for just 2020. Which I thought it was
I mean, that's a
crazy
lot when
life.
you compare everything else you're carrying.
Right. I mean, at any given time, we have, between 2,000 and 5,000 firearms in the showroom floor. So I thought it was interesting. But enough about that. Let's look at some Morelia.
Ah.
Oh God.
Look at that animal.
So
Who did that
the
come
next
from?
one
That's an
is the
import,
one he's
right?
paired with. Yeah, he was a farm bred. Or he is a farm bred.
God.
Dude, look at this, like, Darwinism in the sides here. And this
That's
chest.
why when people try to say, oh, I can tell that it's a Darwin or something like that, they're so variable. There's no way you can do that by looking at them. Because that snake doesn't look like an IJ at all.
I mean, it does to me. It just doesn't. It's not. It's so far removed from the other stuff you see that's imported that I wouldn't
It's
have thought it would be
colored, too.
imported. You know.
Like, it has this
Right.
vanilla color oversheen on it. It's not as dark as they usually are. There's not as much orange. The pattern doesn't seem right. You know, who knows? It could just be an incubation thing, too.
I don't care what it is. That thing's sexy, boy.
Yeah, it's staying here. That's for sure.
And what are we looking at here, Billy?
That's the female fox, too, that has a whole bunch of lavender when she fires up.
So now
She
that is
produced.
fired up right now, right?
Yeah, that's her fired up. So, like, the lavender hues and the, like, oversheen, like, that's her looking the best she'll look. But that's River. That's my really nice striped
That's
coastal.
also one of my favorites.
Yeah, that animal is totally different than when I saw her last.
Yeah, whenever I show that picture at a show, when I'm trying to show people what the parents, and I show them this picture, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's nice." I almost don't want to sell them a snake. So I'm like, "This thing is amazing. How can you not like be going nuts right now?" But whatever.
Dude, I don't know what it is. Like, I know that one's like River isn't Russian Tiger, right?
She is completely unknown.
I don't know. Like Russian Tigers, dude. I got a thing for Russian Tigers. This is just I don't know.
So
what
this
it is
is Trinidad. This is one of River's babies from 2018. He's the only one that had kind of striping going on, and then he also kept her slate gray kind of blue color. So he's actually in with her right now. So fingers crossed on that. That's probably one of my favorite projects I'm working on besides the Peterson stuff. So really hoping that works out.
It's like you took the saturation on them and just completely dialed it down to almost zero.
Yeah.
This is a ivory times Python Pete jungle. He's actually really pretty, but I don't show him off a lot because he's kind of crazy, like jungles usually are.
This isn't the one that you took out for me and Casey, is it?
Yeah, you guys saw this one.
Yeah, no, but the one that got you in the arm.
So, Phil, you know how bright he usually is, the lighting and stuff. That's just the only picture I had of him.
Still looks awesome, man. It's
Yeah,
almost
he's a pretty snake. And then I think the next picture is who he's to, which that picture is really washed out, but that's a Bradley line zebra, the ones that Mutton messes with.
Look at that head.
So
That's
really
awesome.
hoping something happens there.
I love how the mouth looks like it's stitched shut.
Yeah. And dude, I'm looking at this like mangrove snake band-aid.
Yeah, it's almost like a Gemicincta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Gemicincta.
And I'm trying to find the other one to go with the last picture I sent you guys. Oh, there he is. All right, incoming cool.
Okay.
All right, so this is a striped jungle female I have. Phil, this is the one you saw flash on to me.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've seen her in person. She is with the next picture right now. So 2 animals with really thick dorsal stripes. That was him as like a hatchling, so he's brighter now. Like he's not trophy yellow or anything like that, but he's brighter than that picture. But he has such a thick dorsal stripe that I think hopefully it'll, pass on to the offspring.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it almost looks like a tiger retic.
It does.
It really
Almost.
has a tiger retic resemblance with, the dark connected blotches with the light blotches underneath.
I'm torn because with this one, go back. I'm sorry. Go back. Like on the top near his dorsal stripe, there's no tipping, but then underneath the lateral blotches, then there is tipping.
Yeah.
And I can't. It's hard for me to pick like what look I prefer. If I want just a solid black with no tipping, or if I want some tipping, like I still can't decide on that.
Yeah, I get torn the same way. Like, do I want the more diamondy or like darkly speckling, honeycomb patterning, or do you want just jet black lines?
So not the best picture, but this is a caramel coastal. This is the one I got from Jake. This is Kay. This is actually the mom to your jag, Phil.
Nice. Look at that.
Yeah, so that's actually the clutch that he came from.
Is that my egg right there?
I feel confident saying that's the one that he came out of.
That is my egg right there.
And she's with my original Peterson line male. That's the next picture.
Boom.
Oh, are you crossing that stuff now?
Dude.
I'm trying to, because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, why not try to get more of the Peterson stripe stuff into other stuff and keep track of percentages and all that? And
yeah, I mean, if you got the male, why not?
Yeah, I have that, and I have a trio that I'm raising up, and I'll have plenty that I can do, the pure stuff with.
Dude, that's like a scrub head. Look at that.
Yeah, he's a cool snake, man. I always tell everybody if, for whatever reason, I had to go down to one snake, he'd be the one that I would keep.
Nice.
You can send me the chondros then?
That's a very hypothetical situation, and
I don't think so.
Are we allowed to talk about that one, Phil?
Did I send you that?
Yeah, you sent me that.
We've already talked about those.
I went through the pictures too far. Never mind.
That's a jungle.
Yeah, it's just a mud jungle. It's fine.
Nothing to see.
Yeah, Bill, I said vanilla as in just like how the color looks. So we're not getting into the ball python morphs and all that nonsense. Or maybe we are and we don't realize it yet. So I showed that picture. Sorry, Justin. I showed that picture of a guy at Tinley, and there's this one retic guy that is dead set that male has the markers for a blue-eyed leucistic carpet.
Okay.
Interesting.
I don't think so.
Is there
Yeah, I don't think so, but yeah, we'll do it.
They exist, but none of them are alive.
The super jags are leucistics, but they don't make it.
Right, but are they blue-eyed though?
No one
I don't
knows.
think so. They usually don't make it out of the egg. They don't have a fully developed respiratory system.
Yet people continue to try and get one that will.
I don't think anyone really goes for it anymore. I think they just, if they breed jag to jag, they're kind of understanding that a fourth of the clutch just isn't going to make it, and they don't really care.
Sad.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But I know, Andrew, like we talked about what you kept sort of off and on, but I don't remember exactly what it was. I know you mentioned you had some balls at one point.
Yeah, I kept primarily balls and corns. I did a little bit of breeding for a short while, nothing huge, mostly with ball pythons. Just a couple of clutches. I did keep a couple of New World rat snakes, yellow, black rats. I had a leucistic Texas rat snake for a while. Beautiful animal, loved it to death. And I was considering getting into old world rats when I had to downsize my collection and eventually just let it go.
Yeah, Billy got Billy's attention. Billy loves old world stuff, man. I mean, we all do, but Billy's actually got them. I have some, but
Taiwanese and blue beauties are just love it.
Stand by.
Billy's got some calicos that are freaking sweet, man.
Nice. Yeah, the only thing that kept me, I had an opportunity to buy a gorgeous male blue beauty, and he was extremely cage aggressive. Not like feeding aggressive, just you get near him, he wants to bite. I wasn't ready for that when I had the opportunity, so I let it go.
If I was keeping any of the beauties, it would be blues for sure. Those are just
they're gorgeous.
Just so cool, yeah.
Oh, look at that!
Wow.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Dude,
Yeah, it's a Taiwan.
Yep.
That leopard spots, man. I love it.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
It's like you have multiple snakes in one.
You kind of do, yeah.
Because you have the diamond pattern, then it goes to, the stripe pattern, and then down to nothing at the tail. You can kind of see it. I might go with the camera.
Yeah, that transition from the body to the tail kind of reminds me of garter snakes in a way. They have that
a little bit.
diamond checker pattern, and then it goes straight into a line.
Yeah, a lot of the old world stuff has that. A lot of the beauties and like my radiated has that, and the Tias and all that kind of stuff. They're cool snakes. I look at these guys, the Taiwans, like just how thick bodied they are. They remind me of pits, like bull snakes and stuff. So how strong they feel and everything. Well, the king rats too, but.
I saw one of those at the Columbia show. I was kind of tempted.
Should have done it.
I think everyone should have beauties.
I was on a mission, though, and I failed in that.
I heard the Columbia show was pretty disappointing.
Very disappointing.
I heard that, too. I haven't been in a while myself.
It was because of COVID. I think it's because of COVID, but...
This is just like poor, like there weren't many vendors?
Not a lot of vendors. That's probably the biggest issue. And then also you had like to sign up for a time slot because of COVID. So I don't think a lot of people really want to deal with that.
No, people aren't going to be big on that.
And the venomous section was like 3 tables. And they didn't have it when I wanted. So.
The only reason people go to that show is for the hot section. So
yes.
Yeah, that shot him in the foot right there.
And then you have guys like Wayne Hill who just don't care. One of the biggest shows in the country. He's the COVID be damned. Come on, come one, come all.
None of us got COVID though, so we're good.
It is very true.
It was a good time.
Hell of a time. Hell of a time.
How was Tampa though?
It was how it usually is. My big thing with Repticon here is that I'm in the biggest area as far as their most popular shows. So you have Tampa and Orlando. There's 4 of each every year. Then there's 2 Kissimmee, and then there's the Fire Expo in Lakeland. All those shows are within an hour of each other.
Wow.
So, like, the old school, like, you go to a show and you go there with a wad of cash in your pocket, and okay, this is when I gotta get there and get to the breeder, and this is when I'm gonna get that animal. Nobody has that urgency. So like, oh, I'll just come back in 2 months and hopefully they'll go down in price.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would imagine they have a hard time keeping attendance up with that many shows that close together.
The same people go. It's it's kind of just a way to go and talk to people pretty much. A lot of networking happens.
More of a social event.
Yeah, I mean that's what Columbia's been for me for the last handful of years. Like I don't plan on buying anything. I just go there to something to do. You know, it's a nice way to
Yeah.
kill an afternoon. You know.
Yeah.
And then I find bear
There's
traps
nothing
and I end up
against
buying them.
Yeah, that is true. But nothing against the local shows. I mean, they have their place, but like me personally, I'm trying to think once all this stuff like gets figured out and the virus and all that, I want to try to do the bigger shows. So like Daytona, Tinley, Arlington, stuff like that. Maybe if it could work out, maybe go to Pomona or something like that. Like just branch out instead of just doing the same stuff over and over.
Yeah. I definitely want to
Maybe
event Daytona
or something.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully,
so we'll go to Tinley.
Tinley's awesome. That's the best show I've ever been to.
Phil's still muted though. Oh wait, there he is.
You with us, Phil?
Sorry.
Have you had any action from the perps?
No, they're still staring at each other. And I started to cool the room down just because it's that time of the year. But I actually just checked temps tonight. It's I'm assuming it's the same as it was an hour or two ago. It's 78 degrees here, and it's like 80% humidity outside, and it's disgusting. But the room, I've got it down to like 70, so that's good. And they don't have I have the heat completely turned off. So the goal actually is to separate them probably Wednesday or Thursday, give them 2 days to chill, feed them, make sure they eat, and then a day or two after they eat, put them back together.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the temps exactly the same. But what I'm actually more excited about is I bought my chiller for the Gila monsters.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. So my friend Mike, who has the mail, he's actually, according to him, he's been keeping to my strict, Rob Stone instructions. And so his is on 3 weeks with no food. Mine's on 4 weeks with no food. And then he brought his down to 70. Mine's at about 70. And then I should have the chiller this week. It's coming from Amazon, but I know it's got some weight to it. So I'm not expecting it to be, tomorrow or whatever. I ordered it Saturday. And the chiller is supposed to be from 47 degrees to 66 degrees is the range of it. And it's supposed to hold, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8, like 12 bottles of wine sideways. So I figured that was more than enough room for me to have 2 good-sized Sterilites and shove their ass in there.
Probably get dry.
Yeah. So
I didn't know Gila's needed to be cooled down that much.
Oh yeah. So I mean, the average is 55 degrees for anywhere between 30 and like 75 days. Some people go to like 90 days to make it like a real winter season. But according to Rob Stone, my idol, he told me I could get away with 3.5, 4 weeks. So that's what I'm going to do.
He's all of our idols.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he basically told me that my recipe that I have mapped out is good to go. So hopefully, A, it works and they decide to copulate. And B, I hope to God that I know how to read an ultrasound and they don't kill each other.
What?
So, because the male is way bigger than the female. Way bigger. So what happens, and I have a pair of welding gloves just in case I got to break them up. Welding gloves and a butter knife. And I know, like, we joke about it, but that's the only thing I can do. I don't know what to do. I'll probably have like isopropyl alcohol on hand, just to kind of like splash a little on them to get them to let go, kind of thing if I have to. But I really don't have a contingency plan in that regard. I'm hoping that they just piss each other off and do it. So. And I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do the eggs. And I think I don't even want to ponder that or think about it until I see copulation, or at least until I see her ovulate good. And then I'll start figuring out how I want to do it, because I have one of the Exoterra incubators, and I figure by that time I'll either just spend the money and buy like a real one, or I may look at, just doing the styrofoam thing, man, because I don't think I trust that Exoterra one.
No, I mean, if it works, it works. There's no reason to complicate it.
Yeah, but I don't even want to think about eggs. I want to focus on the actual copulation, because I don't want to lose a lizard or my friend's lizard, and at the same time, I really need to focus on the temp and stuff. I think that's a big factor, because it's just so hot.
Yeah.
And yeah, Brad, Listerine, that's probably better than isopropyl, to be honest. Good idea. So.
Wait, what?
What?
Listerine for what?
Breaking up a Gila monster flight.
Oh, yeah.
Do they usually combat during mating, or is it kind of just a contingency type of thing?
So I've seen pictures. I've never seen it in person, but I've seen pictures of males combating where they do like the hugging it out thing, but I don't have another male. So I've also seen it where the female will be defensive and the male will be defensive. So we're going to put the male in the female's enclosure, because the female's enclosure is way larger than the male's. And I'm basically going to sit there and watch him. And if it takes me hours, it takes me hours. If I got to get headphones and a Red Bull and just listen to Justin Smith talk for 8 hours, then so be it. I'll do that. And hopefully,
I don't wish that upon anybody.
And hopefully it works. I mean, I was actually going to hit up Brad and pick his brain too, because him and I really haven't legit talked about the topic. And I managed to talk to Ryan Reed when I was at Justin's wedding, because he's bred them before. Ryan Reed's actually the one who told me about giving them the extra week post food cutoff to get everything out of their drag bag. That way, when they do go into hibernation, they don't have feces or undigested food just like lingering in there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully the chiller works. I figure if it does go too low, like 47 is not that bad. And worst case scenario, I just open the door.
Yeah. So, do you know if the Mexican beaded lizards are the same kind of process, or is it different, or do you know about that?
From what I gathered, it depends on the subspecies.
Okay.
They are not as cold because they're not straight up desert. They're more grassland foresty. Some of the Guatemalan stuff's way more tropical. They're also way more forgiving in terms of the cooling. So as long as you have an actual drop of some kind, they're okay. It could be 8 to 10 degrees, it could be 20 degrees. As well as the Gilas, it's got to be below 60, otherwise you're not going to get shit.
Yeah.
So in South Florida, I mean, dude, it's November. It's the middle of November, and it's 78 here. Like, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I wish I lived by you guys so I could just do what Reed did and open a window.
Yeah, it's 40 degrees out here right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Billy, are you in the 60s by you right now?
What?
Are you in the 60s right now or not?
No, we're like 70s, 80s right now.
Okay.
Same as you.
Okay.
But we have a cold front coming.
Just you or all of us?
I think all of Florida, because the storms just came through, and then there's that one by South America in the Gulf.
Well, good shit. I also have I have some biddies that are paired up right now. Not paired up, but they're in the same cage, I should say. So we'll see if that does something. And then those perps, man. Hopefully they do something. I really think that this year's not going to happen. I think that the females are too small, and I think that they've been in captivity almost a year now, and I think they're still stressed out. I think they're still on edge.
What are they? Is it the rhinos?
No, the perps.
What bidis are you talking about, though?
Gaboons and puffs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I had a guy at a Columbia show try to sell me a puff as a first venomous. Well, how do you feel about that, Phil? For $70.
For $70. I would say that's the equivalent of a 15-year-old kid who's about to get his learner's license, and the guy at the dealership says, "I have a brand new Toyota Supra. Don't worry, it's only $400."
Yeah.
That's about the same equivalent. Like you're
Sounds
gonna,
about right.
you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, I actually thought of an idea for cooling my corns and bears.
Yeah.
I have all the lids for my tubs that they're in of the rack they're in.
Right.
I think I'm just gonna take them all out of the racks, slap the lids on, and then I'll probably just stack them in the closet with no heat because there's no the AC doesn't run to the closet, so it's usually fairly a little warmer than what it is outside. And so I figure I'll just tub them all up, and then just put them in the closet and keep them in the dark until Valentine's Day. And it gets cool enough to where it'll make a difference, and I'm not having to. The room stays warmer, and even I don't think I want to drop them down a little cooler than I did last year. So, but that's my plan right now. Hopefully, I can find all the lids to all those tubs, but.
That'll be good. I'm actually, I have a pair of girdle tails at my parents' house that my dad has taken pictures of them blocked up, but I've never gotten them out of them. And I think originally it was the male was just super horny and the girl wasn't ready. But now I feel that because my parents just keep them at room temp with the heat lamp, that there's no drop at night. There's no seasonal drop. So my one breeder male died almost 2 years ago. I think I'm going to bring them home probably Thanksgiving. And then I'm literally going to just throw them in with my female. And I'm hoping that the two females, because they're very, very much girls in charge, I'm hoping that the females will fight. And the male will be like, whoa, 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 ladies, you don't got to fight over it. And then I can get 2 of those. So
there's more than enough of me to go around.
More than enough of me to go around. Because I've actually been looking for another male, and I just can't find them. Nothing's coming out of Africa.
Yeah, I think you're the only guy I know that even keeps those. So.
Yeah, in the heyday, Marcus and I we had like 8 or 9 different species, and we probably had about, maybe 20, 25 lizards between the two of us. So, and I know he wound up getting in with a bunch of dudes that are kind of under the radar in terms of lizards. And he got stuff for pretty cheap, like Depressus Warreni, and Warreni, and Mozambicus. And I mean, dude, we had like 2.6 Mozambicus, which is crazy. And we paid nothing for them. And Marcus was smart, and he sold them when he could. So, like the Depressus Warreni, I'm pretty sure he had a pair of them, and I think he paid like $600 for the pair. And I think he went up selling them for like $1,500 each. So, because we never got them to breed. So, But now I kind of want them again, and I don't have any money.
Such is life.
Yep.
Well,
Bill said, "Is it just dumb luck that terrible things don't happen more often with HOTS and their availability like that?"
I think they don't hear about it.
pertaining to Thomas and his
puff on the Lolo.
Yeah, I think
I
that
like to think people that get into them, most of them are somewhat responsible and don't take stupid risks. I like to think that.
That's the ideal.
They're legitimately afraid of the animal, which is a good thing in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit of a dash of fear doesn't take. Just if you have a little bit of it, it's good.
More than healthy.
Yeah.
Absolutely more than healthy.
But I'm also planning to pair the Jansenite come January.
I'm first on the list, right?
Yeah.
That didn't sound convincing.
You are now.
We talked about this like before you even got those things.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this picture is a really bad picture. This male honestly looks just like that.
God, they're so angry.
He has green on the sides with a red dorsal, and he's got like pinkish hues in the face. His eyes are red. That's a pretty good indication of his color. The female is actually almost like a dark brown, and then see this lighter area in here, and like this lighter area in here and here. That's almost like a burnt orange, like coming through the black, and then the belly is white.
I like the belly a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Beautiful.
was that the tuxedo one?
This is one of the tuxedo ones, yeah.
How far up does the white go on the mouth there?
On which one? This one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's there. It's
like, is that all the way?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
It comes all the way around.
See, it's like little subtle things like that I just key in on certain animals, and like that's why I like them.
Well, I mean, like I keep showing the same here. I keep showing the same picture of that exact girl, because it just looks so different from when I got her. Where is it?
I feel like those are like your friendly neighborhood crackhead of the pit vipers.
Most definitely.
Like, they just look like they crawled out of the freaking trash can, digging around for extra food, and they're really not happy to see you, and will shank you at any given opportunity. As soon as you turn your back.
It's an interesting definition of
So,
friendly.
that's the exact same female. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's much more bold coloration.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a freaking rattlesnake, dude.
So you can see in here, this coloration in here, this coloration that comes up into here, and like some of this over here, that's almost like a burnt orange now. And then this black coloration is just a dark chocolate brown. But the white's the same, the white of the face is the same. This black in between the scalation is still the same. So
Phil, Henry just said perps are a lot more variable than people thought.
Oh yeah, extremely variable. And Henry and I are learning that almost every day with, some of the friends that we talk to that are in Sumatra and Java, and the stuff that they show and they post and stuff. It's crazy. It really is.
It seems like a lot of the stuff from over there is like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are they finding that there are a lot of variation within the same area? Like the ones that have like that really purple with like almost the highlighter green and the white, like are those more of a coastal variation, while the ones like this are going to be like more sort of inland? Like
no, so they're realizing that their range is way more east than they ever really thought, because there's so many micro habitats and there's thousands of islands out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking like, oh wow, not only do they live on this island, they're also bubblegum pink naturally in the wild, and it's not a morph; it's an actual phenotype. Or now one of our friends, Dede, he just had a bunch of silvers, and it's literally a silver snake with silver eyes. But again, these are babies born from a female that wasn't necessarily silver, so who knows what's going to grow up? They become so variable in the year that I've had them.
So to kind of put it in a sense that I understand it, from what Henry's saying in the comments, they seem to be similar in that respect to Gagnos. Because like the different localities of Gagnos have different colors that they'll show. Like the green ones come from here in Indo, or the green and blue ones come from Malaysia. The Java ones are silver. And then sprinkled in there will be your orange ones or your red ones or whatever.
And you're talking about Gagnosoma carinata, right?
No, the red-tailed green rats. The
Oxys.
Okay. Because I was going to say, aren't the Gagnosoma carinata, don't they have the more north you go, the lighter they get kind of thing?
That I don't know. I don't know.
You talking about Patayas?
Yeah, you talking? I didn't want to call you out, Phil. There's no Gagnosoma carinata.
Patayas, excuse me. Forgive me.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't want to do that to you.
You can.
I refuse to have another Jake situation happen, buddy. I had to call it immediately.
That's fine. It's what we're here for.
I still can't live down the first incident, so.
That's fine.
I still have the picture with the carpet attaching out of the papaya basket.
Yeah, but dude, at least mine was an actual genus name, and it wasn't papaya, the fruit.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is, like, this particular animal here, this is usually found in the northeastern coast of Sumatra, southern Malaysia, southern peninsular Malaysia, and Singapore. They have found melanistic ones up north, almost to like the Phuket area, but for the most part, this is the Straits of Malacca, North Sumatra area. Now, this picture is not mine, but that animal was found on the coast, right where the Thai-Malay border.
Yeah, see, I always thought the coastal ones had a lot more sort of patterning and contrast than the darker ones.
Right,
that makes sense with the foliage in those types of areas.
Yeah.
But that black one I just showed you, that was field collected by Henry and I's friend in Sumatra, and he specifically said it's from such and such island. And when you go on Google Earth, it literally is a barrier island on the northeast coast of Sumatra. So it's like he plucked it out of a mangrove tree in his boat.
So Phil, I don't know if you know or not, but what are the different colors
looks like a freaking
that
habu
you see in these guys? Or is it kind of like Amazon tree boas where it could be anything?
So it was believed to be like Amazons or squams, where basically you had a blue dad and a red mom, and you've got yellow babies or black babies, or like you got a whole litter from a red mom and a yellow mom, and you got every color of the Skittles packet in the litter. But now they're learning that it can be more selective, because now they're learning exactly where parents came from. So they're like, okay, this is a North Sumatran male and a Singapore female, and the babies came out gray. Well, now if I do gray to gray, is it going to be more gray, or am I going to get some attributes of dad and some attributes of mom? So the guys that are really focusing on Maculatus right now are waiting to see what happens.
So basically, the Alterna nerds got their hands on perps.
Yeah.
And are really sucking all the fun out of them.
Except these guys are 29 years old in a garage, chain smoking, listening to Metallica while they have wooden cages with hundreds of tree buggers.
It literally sounds just like Amazon tree boas and Pasillinotus and stuff. Like, you honestly don't know. Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get. You can have two gray individuals produce red or orange because somewhere in their ancestry they had those animals in them.
Yeah. But then I also think what we're learning too is, and I'm learning this on the fly with Henry and our friends in Lindo, that I got an animal because I liked the way it looked. And now it's changing completely. And I don't think it has to do with UVB. I don't think it has to do with food. I think they naturally have a lifelong evolution of color. Because like I've had baby perps that I got, and they were purple. I mean, bright violet purple, and they grew up to just be ugly brown. And then I've had other ones that were green, and they shed out, and boom, they're freaking purple. So,
do they always change from hatchling to adult?
Yes, but it wasn't until recently that I've been more observant of it, because I actually really care and focusing on it now. But B, the ones I had in the past, I feel like were coming from the same importer, and they were coming from the same region. So almost all the babies that we got back in the day, like when I worked with Strictly and stuff, almost all of those were the same coloration as babies. They were the same coloration as adults. They were purple. They were purple bodied with yellow patterning and black spots or purple spots.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing all these different localities because more are being observed and more are being shared, and now we have social media, and that was it.
Well, it sounds similar to Pasillinotus because they go through a known 3 to 4 different color changes until they get to their adult colors, and then they continue to change even once they hit those colors. It just depends on what end of the spectrum they go to.
Are you going to get any more of those?
Probably.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a yes. Just say yes.
And now,
we all know it.
Yeah.
Scott's
I'm not proud of it, but yeah.
Scott mentioned, onto genetic change, and then he's saying, what is the driver for that? There needs to be a reason to have that shift, and I don't think it's necessarily a baby chondro, a baby chondro evading birds to an adult animal that doesn't care, or vice versa. I think it's more along the lines of like the green. Can't remember the name now. Alligator lizard.
Abronia.
Abronia. Thank you. So I think it's where we have an animal that is majorly observed in the wild as being lime green. We bring it in captivity. We replicate everything best we can, and now it turns turquoise. So, and the animal's healthy. It just turned blue. So I don't know if that's the case, and maybe I should try this UVB or whatever.
Fry them.
I don't know.
But it seems like it is something that it depends on how big they are, what their prey preference is, and what niche of the ecosystem they're going to occupy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I would assume, is because like babies. I mean, I'm assuming they're occupying sort of the same habitat from the time they're babies through their adults. Like I don't see them shifting like chondros do. Like chondros start in one area, and then as they grow, they completely shift. Color-wise and habits, all that stuff. So I don't know. Like I would think that they sort of occupy the same area throughout their life, and that doesn't change.
They seem really similar to Castellanotus in that effect.
So now this is Shadow, and Shadow was the first one I ever got in this batch. And this is the day I took her home. She was in country for probably, Henry, what would you say, like maybe 4 or 5 months? No, not even. She was in country for probably a month, and then I took her home, and she looks exactly the same, and it's been about a year. So, again, I don't know if this animal, just because it's not in the rack, because it's in the Exoterra, that it didn't want to turn.
Was it a hatchling when you got
it? No, I would probably say it was maybe a year old, maybe 9 months old.
I mean, she could have already went through the changes she was going to.
That's true.
And I never know how old these things are when they come in.
Yeah. I also think that her eyes have gotten darker, and I know that the white patterning on the belly and the face is coming in more, but the dorsal coloration is still the same. Yeah, it's a good point. Henry says that, UVB is a major thing. Indonesia is much closer to the equator. That's why some Javan kings have one color over there, and then when they come here, they look like crap. So
could be something of that.
Yeah.
I guess it could be a combination of UVB, stress, individual, just phenotypic kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we see it in condors every now and then. You see some that have that just like a very black sort of overall stripe that goes down the body, and everyone thinks it's some sort of mystical, fancy like thing. It's like, no, that thing, someone just left it on under UV too long, and it's freaking burnt.
Yeah. And now this female is one of the other females that I paired up this year with a green male, and she has retained the exact same pattern. The white is exactly the same. However, the black has now turned to almost like a charcoal color. It's not as rich a black as it was in this photo. But again, you look at the black on the tail, and like right where the vent is, it almost looks like there's stuck skin on there. It's actually not stuck skin. I think it's a piece of aspen. But that, let me try and use the mouse. So like this is the vent, and like this tail, the shininess right here, this tail is completely jet black.
Seeing that makes me wonder if that variety is almost like naturally melanistic.
Yeah, but it's not, because now I'm seeing all these, orange and pink hues come through as they shed and grow.
Yeah, I don't know.
So who knows?
Now, could that blacktail be like a caudal lure type thing where it looks like a worm in certain?
I don't know. I've never noticed in all the years that I've ever kept these things, I've never noticed them lure. It's always used as a defense mechanism, and they do the slow motion rattlesnake rattle, where it's
Yeah.
instead of being a buzz, it's like a flop,
The
flop,
flop, yeah.
the flop. Um, so I'm wondering if that is a marker, like just so it's more easily visible in the movement of it. I mean, I have no idea.
So, Phil, is there like locality info on these animals that come in?
No. The only reason why Henry and I know about my animals is because we're friends with the guys that bred them on Instagram.
Gotcha.
That's the only way. And the story goes, Henry was shopping for Mango, and he found Mango's breeder, and then Mango's breeder said, "Oh yeah, you might want to talk to this other guy too." And we found out that he bred perps, as well as a bunch of Tropodolamus and stuff like that. So when I reached out to him, he proposed what he had available, and he told me, he's like, "No, I didn't breed the blacks. The blacks are wild caught, but I produced all the colors." Or my friend who lives across the canal, kind of thing, he produced all the colors too. So I know that my two males are captive bred, and I know that the blacks that I have are all, I would consider them long term. But I don't know. I've had them a year, and I know he had them for probably at least a year, if not a little.
It almost sounds like you could really go down the rabbit hole with localities, and there's probably tons of localities and different looks and stuff that you could focus on if you wanted to, and then variability within the localities and everything.
The thing that we're noticing now is, Facebook and Instagram and all the social media, guys are sharing what they got, and we've never seen stuff like this before. And it's hard because of translation and whatever else, but it almost feels like they've never seen it either. And now we have things like iNaturalist, and iNaturalist, there's a ton of Tremerstrus on iNaturalist, and it's mostly like people walking their dog or like going for a jog. They see a snake, but it's helping guys like Henry and I look at look at the locality phenotypes, and we can kind of get an idea of what's what. But that doesn't mean I can't go to almost everything in downtown Singapore, and yes, downtown Singapore. Almost every permaculus downtown Singapore is black, or like dark, dark, dark violet purple that it looks almost black. That doesn't mean I can't take a walk down to the beach and see a redneck. It may very well be. But
I've been doing that with the Bairds.
Yeah.
Like I started a Google Drive folder and like a folder for each locality, and I'll just go on iNaturalist periodically and flip through it and add stuff to that folder so I can go and look and see what sort of the trademark of that locality is, be it the amount of silver, the amount of orange, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, iNaturalist, like after I never even paid attention to it until we've started talking about it and stuff, and it's actually really fun to go on there and see what people are finding, whether they're looking for it or not. Like the stuff that people post on there, it's really interesting.
Yep.
And if you go back to like we were talking about, puff adders are first venomous. Scott just texted me and he put up a good point. I made the joke about having a little fear is a little healthy. Like it's not fear. Fear is bad. You should never have an animal that you're legitimately afraid of. It's respect, and you respect the animal and what it's capable of doing, and therefore it keeps you on your toes or keeps your head level and gives you a clear mind as to what you're doing and how you're working with it. So,
yep.
And that's why Scott's the fucking man.
Gentlemen, I hate to interrupt, but unfortunately my iPad is telling me I've got to go. So.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, pleasure having you.
For having us.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you, man.
When you're at Bodo, give me a shout.
Absolutely. Anytime you'd like. I'm happy to come back and chat with you guys.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Take it easy.
Good night, man.
You too.
You too.
Scott just said again that iNaturalist is full of errors, though. And I've noticed that it's full of errors in the fact that people put stuff where they want to put it. And, like, I've seen some stuff where I know for a fact they didn't find that animal where they said they did. And I look on the map and I realize that they did it from their couch.
Yeah.
And it's like that doesn't work like that. Like, yes, you saw that animal in the wild, but you got to remember where you are, or you got to just do it on the fly if you got cell service, you know. And then I've also noticed that I didn't realize this. I found out the hard way. A naturalist has a setting where I guess it's a proximity thing. So if you don't want to say exactly
Right.
where you found
Yeah.
it, you can give
Gives you like a radius.
yeah, which I know a lot of herpers do because they don't want people knowing their exact spots.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I know a lot of herpers that they don't post anything, but they use iNaturalist to see where to go. So
That's a big concern that I would have, especially with kind of more species that are hard to find. Is I wouldn't even post anything. I'm always nervous about people going there and killing my spot,
yeah,
poaching animals or whatever it happens to be.
and that's why I don't bring people to my spots if I know they're, the bad kind of herper. Because I had some spots that were, I had a rough green spot. And I told this one kid about it. I said, hey, man, please don't come here without me because, I know it's public property. You can do whatever you want. But, don't be bringing people here. Well, one day I go out there by myself. He's in the car with two other herpers. And I'm like, yep, you just lost all trust, and I'm never taking you anywhere ever again.
Just like fishing.
Just like fishing. And Scott put up a great point, too. iNaturalist has horrible taxonomy to the point where now you have these couch commandos, the keyboard warriors, whatever you want to call them, who they verify because iNaturalist you have to make sure it's research grade, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that is not what that is. But because it's research grade, oh no, it's perfect.
It's all opinion.
It's just fun.
It is fun. I do love it.
I mean, it's cool to know localities and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, most of us are keeping exotic stuff in boxes halfway across the world,
Yeah.
Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Don't be a fun sponge.
I would love to see Brooks in the wild though, man. How cool would that be? Just in like a wooden canoe, just like drifting slowly through the mangrove estuaries, like that'd be awesome.
They're just an arboreal cottonmouth, dude.
You shut your mouth, goddamn.
I'm gonna go all the way across the world to see a damn cottonmouth.
To see a ugly carpet in the wild. It's an ugly, nasty, dark brown, dark tan. Like nobody would want it. That'd be the coolest thing in the world.
100%.
Yeah. Actually, I think I still have that. The cottonmouth in Southeast Asia where there's the beer can in the background.
Yeah.
On that picture.
Nature's beautiful. It's like a natty light can in the middle of frickin' Singapore.
Yep. I'm pretty sure the photo is
an empty skull can right next to it too. It's like you can take the redneck out of the cottonmouth, or you can take the cottonmouth from the rednecks. But you can't take the redneck out of the cottonmouth, even if it's in Asia.
At least a natty daddy.
Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. It was a while ago.
Crappets. Bill said left to right, top then bottom. The beard is fading to baby face.
Screw you,
It's
Bill.
like the Animorphs book cover.
That's great.
I have to be clean shaven, Bill.
You can at least have a stash, though. You can have the Selleck going on.
Oh, here,
Man.
This is not the picture I was looking for. But this is a great
But I
picture.
can't.
This is a great picture of what that one's turning into.
Ooh, okay.
It's turning into the vine.
Yeah, and I want to say that it is.
It's like a chameleon.
It's got that yellowy orange coming through, and you can barely see the spots.
Yeah.
If somebody tells me my snakes are ugly, I'm going to be very upset.
I mean,
Don't do it.
it's not
Don't
pretty.
You do it. Don't you fucking do it, Smitty.
Good for you, Bill. I got another 23 years.
As he takes a drink. Like, fuck my life.
That's so good.
Tom's over there still drinking his little shots of gin.
Man, I'm sipping it. I'm not just taking shots over here. I could be, but I'm not.
You'd be a lot cooler if you were.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
Where's this picture, Phil?
I guess it was a lot farther back than I remember. Because, like, I always reference it because of that fucking beer can. I got it. I actually got it off iNaturalist, I'm pretty sure.
Bill's out there catching them Al-Qaedas.
Somebody's got to do it.
There is actually a really cool series on Netflix that's like terrorism close calls, and it talks about like thwarted terror attempts and stuff in the past in the U.S. and I think actually the U.K. too, but really cool for anybody who wants something to watch.
Yeah, that stuff's interesting stuff.
Oh, I found
Billy,
it.
I thought Billy was older than me by a very large margin when I first met him, and then I come to find out I'm actually older than him.
Yeah, I'm a baby.
I was like, man, Billy's got to be like 35. He's like, nah, man. You're 28 or 29 right now.
I had a guy at work, a customer, gave me the worst info ever. He's like, hey, man, so you're married, right? And I was like, no. He goes, but you got a girlfriend, right? And I was like, no, man. He goes, well, I mean, how old are you? You're still young. What are you, like 45, 46? And I was like, no, man, I'm 34. He's like, oh, well, you got to get on that, man. And like walked away.
It's like forgetting Sarah Marshall when he's trying to get a table. He's like, is your wife joining you? No, it's just me. He's like,
yeah.
A friend? No. You want a book or something? It's going to be kind of lonely. Like, just going to be sitting there by yourself.
Yeah, before I put weight on, everyone thought I was in high school.
Oh, really?
Like 20. Yeah, it was bad.
If I shaved, I'd look like I was 15. The beard saves me.
I'd look like Peter Griffin.
I want to see this.
So
look at the can back there.
So this here is, I'm pretty sure, Singapore. And if you look at the animal itself, there's barely any markings at all. But it's hard to tell because this light here, that's obviously sunlight casting on. So I don't know if the animal's black or if it's just a dark, dark brown. But I also feel like it has a lot of this mud and silt stuck on it. But it is.
Yeah, we've all seen Nerodia, okay?
It is
like the viper boas.
Hey, don't attack my Nerodia, man.
It's as white trash as it gets over there. I don't even know what it's some Asian beer.
I'm sure there's a used condom in there somewhere too if you look around hard enough.
There's probably not.
Yeah, there's probably not. Whoops.
Whoa!
Hey. I'll call you
I wait for the day that like Phil has done that and it's just nothing but like a folder full of titties.
Woo. Go close on that one.
Close one there.
Yeah, that would not have been good if I kept that open. All right.
Elton John's the shit, dude.
What?
I
don't even know what's happening.
Listening to some Elton.
Boring you?
While we're having a live show.
I always listen to music while we're doing this, dude.
I know, but it's so uncouth. Now he's dancing. Wonderful.
I need more Gani Soma, but I don't have space. I need a lot more things, but I don't have space.
Speaking of Nerodia, Thomas, how are your Nerodia?
Well, I was keeping them together in a little 6 quart, but I had an issue of one got noticeably bigger, as stuff happens when you're keeping stuff together,
Mm-hmm.
and so I separated them and fed them last night. Everyone ate good, and I'm hoping to try. I should have done that to begin with, but I don't know.
Oh, we lost him.
He'll be back.
I'm
Here he
tempted
is.
to get a lot of them. I love Nerodia.
And what are you feeding him right now?
I'd feed them paints cut in half. They
Okay.
won't feed off of a tong. I gotta leave it in the enclosure, and I come back and it's gone.
And these are frozen dogs?
Yes. I didn't have to scent them or anything, so I got lucky there.
Are they eating them, wound first or like head first?
I'm not around to see it. They won't eat in front of me.
That's fine, as long as they're eating.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's how that Subok is. Like, if I'm in the room, he ain't gonna eat. But if I walk out, those mice are gone, and like, they just disappear. They evaporate.
That's how my bears are. They won't eat in front of me.
Yeah, dude. The like young bears I've found are very, very like shy eaters.
Yeah. They're getting better now. They're getting better every feed.
It gets better as they get older. But
yeah.
I just actually got all the young ones I have right now on frozen thawed, because before it would be like 50-50, like half of them would eat frozen thawed and half of them wouldn't, so I ended up just feeding them all live for the last like probably month or two.
Yeah.
But I just did frozen thawed last feeding and they all took, so. And then I don't feel like such a giant piece of shit when I have to feed them.
My olive python will only eat day-old quail for me so far.
Your olive python?
Yeah.
No.
That's gross.
That's kind of what I was hitting at.
It's fucked up, man.
So.
Oh, speaking of messed up, I feel so bad. Dude. Okay. So what was it, Saturday, Sunday morning, yesterday morning. I went to go check on mice real quick. I usually clean on Sundays, but we had stuff going on, so I just did it today. But I went to go top off everything, like water and food, just for a day, until I could get over there this morning like I did. And went to go open the barn doors, and it, like, stopped on something. And so I pulled it back, and I went again, and it still stopped. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it never gets blocked up. And so I look up, and there was, like, a yearling yellow rat that had somehow found itself hanging out in the little track where the wheel to the barn door slides.
Oh.
And I freaking, she just crushed him, man. I felt
Didn't you send us a video of that?
I didn't send you a video of the actual snake, but yes.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
Dude, I felt so freaking bad.
Phil, do you have a picture of your yellow rat?
Not a recent one. I mean, I could take him out, but that would be a fiasco.
No reason to do that.
You mean your yellow rat?
I mean, I was trying to be sly, but yeah.
Yeah, your yellow rat. Yeah, no, he's when I come visit you, he's coming with me.
What a good buddy you are.
He eats like a champ, though. And he's so mad at the world. And like I open the tub and I'm like, hey little guy, what's going on? And like I literally take my fingers and give him a rat pink and I put the live rat pink in there and he just looks at me like, really? Really? And then I close the tub and you just hear the cries for help and it's horrible, but it's also great.
They had a lot of baby yellow rats at the Tampa show. From Charlotte County.
Yeah.
Let's see. Phil, I'm going to send you another picture to post up.
All right. You want me to go get that thing and get bit and pissed on?
No. You don't have to do that.
All right, good. Because I kind of don't want to. Kind of been drinking.
No, but I know you guys have already seen it, but have you posted again? Probably one of the cooler things I saw at the show. Just gotta find it. Smitty will like it.
Chondros.
No.
You'll see.
We've already
You've already
established
seen it.
We've already established this. There's only one true chondro, and it is Chondrodactylus.
Look, you're making Thomas drink.
It's fine, at least as long as it's gin. Oh yeah, this is it. Look at this bitch.
So, besides the stuff that I like, this was probably one of the coolest things I saw at the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
now we're
boy.
talking. Oh.
Yeah, sir.
So I didn't talk to the people because it was like a flipper table. Nothing wrong with that. They're usually not interested in talking to people.
Was it a male or a female?
I'm gonna assume a male.
Probably.
If there was a female at that show, because there was another table with some babies, I would have just got it and then hung it over your head.
You're a real bitch.
I would have given it to you. Jeez.
I have that pair of Christmas Mountain Alterna, and I am waiting for the day that I see either a nice female or a young hatchling pair of subocs, so that I can message her and be like, look, I will trade you straight up these Christmas Mountain Alterna, which are gold in the Alterna world, because I need another suboc or a pair.
So they're saying this is an orange phase. Do you know anything about that? Or is it just a nice, normal?
I've seen people ask for the orange phases in the suboc group, but I'm sure there's one locality in particular. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
When's Chris when you need him?
Yeah, right. There's one locality that looks very similar to that everybody wants and nobody has. I just can't remember which one. It's a rose something. I'm drawing a blank.
So I'm gonna be honest. This picture actually makes this animal look like garbage. It was super bright.
Yeah, they're freaking cool snakes, man. I'm hooked.
Yeah, I want a pair. I was so close to buying that one in Daytona, but it was just a little bit too pricey for me.
I jumped on it, man. I was like, those were the only ones at the show, so I had to.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's getting yellower. And
so Billy can breed it with a beauty?
Dude, if he bred that with a Taiwan, dude, how crazy would that be?
Why am I getting known as the guy that just does whatever?
Wild Rose Pass is the subox that I'm thinking of. Because here's whenever Phil's done, I'll share my screen on this one that's on Morph Market right now. And granted,
I did one hybrid pairing 2 years ago.
I don't know how accurate this locality is, because this could very easily be someone saying, "Hey, everyone wants Wild Rose Pass. Let me throw one up." But
that is pretty orange.
Yeah.
I like the diamonds on his back.
They're so
It has
cool,
that
dude.
same orange as the long nose snakes down there.
Yeah.
Scaleless. Yuck.
Yeah.
Gross.
I've been wanting to get into the Japanese rats a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yes.
Billy had
do
some.
it. I regret getting rid of them. I'm going to get more.
So Scott just sent me a couple pictures, and I believe this is Hoplocephalus. And Scott will, of course, yell at me and call me a dirty Yankee for not knowing.
I believe that is too.
Awesome animal.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, and the leaf litter and the fading of it, the tipping of it, awesome.
Phil, what's the sex on the yellow?
I don't know. I never checked. It was small when I got it, and I didn't want to force it. So I'll check in the next couple of days. I got to feed him. I'll check.
Okay. I've just always liked yellows, Bill.
Yeah, I actually caught that thing in hopes that it would be a Everglades, and it's definitely not. So the hunt continues.
Melanota.
Don't give me more projects, Bill.
Man.
I like how it's become well known that striping is like the main thing I look for in any project.
It is.
I don't know how that happened.
Because people see everything you have and it's all freaking stripe.
Yep.
Not everything.
The man knows what he likes.
Yeah, that's true. Especially yellow rats, right? Basically striped rat snake.
And dude, I'm really hoping that there's no stripes on it. Like, not to burst your stripe bubble, but the way that animal looks, I feel like it's gonna just be yellow.
That would be awesome.
How's the sign done?
Alive.
Okay.
So Phil's trying to
Still
get me on his waiting list.
Huh?
But I'm looking at the comments.
I just think it's also amazing how, like, when I visited Billy, we were talking about the yellow rats. The yellow rats from like Billy south to me are just yellow, very little pattern, very little striping. And then
because they're not yellow rats, they're Everglades. Damn it.
They're not. They're yellow rats. And then you go up north, and it's just like, it's like a bumblebee, with the black stripe.
Yep.
Ross Allen
I'm a Ross Allen guy. I won't lie. Remember when Chris was on and he gave the rundown of all the snakes and all the East Coast rat snakes and stuff? I didn't realize what was what. And although his descriptions were spot on, it was because of that conversation that made me dig deeper. And yeah, I'm a firm believer in the old tax. I really am. I just don't see the new tax. I just don't see it.
Damn hosers of the world can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's anarchy.
It is.
Freaking A. So I got a iNaturalist account with you guys. I put in Spilotes, and the first one is a dark red sulfurous.
Really?
Dude, you see all kinds of cool stuff on there, like those Bairds that are just straight silver with zero other color on them. Like, of course, that's the one on the whole list of Bairds on there that they gave literally no information. They're like, "Yep, it's Texas." It's like, God, those things are so cool, dude.
My favorite thing to look up on iNaturalist is the timbers and the cane breaks, the variation between localities, that stuff just gets me going.
I think it's funny when you type in a species that you're looking for in the wild, and it shows up like in an urban area. So you click the little flag, and it's in a pet shop. Somebody took a picture of it in the pet shop and posted it on iNaturalist. Like, really? Come on.
Phil, I'm going to send you a picture of this Nerodia with its head cocked up like a cotton.
Dude, I gotta see it. Let's see it. I love the mimicry. I mean, the question is, are cottons mimicking Nerodia or Nerodia mimicking cottons?
Yes.
You would think the Nerodia is mimicking the cottons, but, I mean, who knows what came first?
I do the same thing with corn snakes, though, like seeing the different variations between different areas and stuff. I don't know. It's just like if
now,
it's one of those websites where if you have nothing to do and you want to kill some time, it's like it's fun.
And
It's just
so
enjoyable.
Much more, it's so much more expansive on the actual computer than your phone. Like I didn't know that, and one day I was like, you know what? Let me log on to the computer and see. And it's just so much better on a PC or on a Mac or whatever. And dude, that thing is so adorable. Look how tiny.
Yes, it is. I love that, and they're so spunky. They don't like they run if they see the opportunity, but they will hold their ground, which I love that.
I've been tempted to try them out, but
get a pair, man. I think you might like them more than you think.
And the fact that you got them in the rodents is phenomenal.
And they just fed on rodents. I didn't have to do anything with fish or scenting or anything. And I think they're F1s, maybe F2s. I gotta check back on my combo with Chris.
But yeah, dude. I mean, that tail. I love that paddle tail. You know.
And it's really tough to get like the real coloration of the sides in a picture. Like that picture is bad in general, but it's hard to do it justice.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all the coloration, the side, right on the face.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, it's a pretty animal.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for that thing to be 4 foot. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, me too. I'm just gonna have a collection of cottons and fucking water snakes.
It's fine, man. Dude, you should, if they're the same size, how cool would it be to have them in the same tank?
That's what I was thinking.
Like water lilies and some, fallen tree limb and stuff.
Yeah. If I'm ever able to, like with a yard and stuff, I want to have outdoor enclosures and have that set up where I have a group of cottons and Nerodia, maybe a turtle too. Just kind of have a thing.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Southeast U.S. cypress bog.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
Put some carnivorous plants in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Justin, did you buy those Bairds that Cream City Serpents put up for sale?
No, he's who I got my my male Cyanea from though.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've talked to him a good bit about bears and stuff, but no, I'm pretty tapped out on bears right now. I don't really need any more.
Hogwash.
That doesn't mean you won't get any more.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean I won't get any more, because I mean, ideally I'll just start making my own. But this Loma Alta should be, this Loma Alta should be ready to go next year.
Dude, imagine if you have one of those racks just full of Loma Altas.
They're full.
I tried to get more from Dan Parker, but he's like, there's a waiting list. And I was like, never mind.
Yeah, those snakes are cool, man. You opened my eyes when I saw those in person, just as hatchlings.
Dude, they're so cool, man. They're so cool.
Yeah, I have Justin to thank for my love of Bairds. I never even thought of keeping them until you started talking about them.
Dude, you know what I've actually been looking for?
Snakes, man.
They're awesome snakes.
I haven't been looking that hard, but when Nipper brought up that he loves lyre snakes, I remember seeing them years ago, and just nobody ever sells them or keeps them, but it's literally North American Voida. And I really want that. I think I want that. I think it'd be cool to have just a pair and just...
I feel like North American Telescopus is probably a better...
Yes, yeah, I'll go that route. Yeah, North American Telescopus, that's good. And dude, that's another one, man. I really want some annulata. Dude, Telescopus is awesome, man. They're so cool. I mean, I got
It's not.
You don't see that many here in the States.
It's because Tanzania shut down, Mozambique shut down. Don't get any of that South Africa, you know? It's tough.
Just be ready for them.
Yeah, the minute somebody has Telescopus and it's not like an arm and a leg, semi-annulatus specifically, I'm going to grab them.
See, now y'all got me going down the iNaturals rabbit hole looking at subocs and stuff.
Yeah, I was looking at Spilotes and I was like, I'll be here all night, so I stopped.
I really need Chris to produce some, because I need more.
Sure,
Put that
you
up,
will.
Phil. That's the only venomous snake on Crete, and I went looking for them. Of course, I didn't find them, but they're pretty animals.
Who's the Amidites?
Oh, really? So, yeah.
No, that's still
Oh,
Scott.
that's still
Yeah.
telescope.
Yeah, my bad.
Those remind me of those. What was it? The dude at Glen Reptiles had those. Some really. Let me find it.
The Egyptian DM
I
rats?
don't think so.
Similar to that.
The black-headed spotted whip snake. Let me see, I got it right here.
Wow, look at that thing.
These
That's
things are freaking
awesome.
sweet, man.
Where's that from?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What do you say? The Kizilkum Desert, South Kazakhstan.
Oh,
How
yeah.
did that get in the country?
I don't know.
He takes the best pictures, too.
I thought he posted more pictures of them not that long ago, but Tanzania.
Alright, so
Ooh, look
at
at
the
that.
Tampa show, I saw a Anery palmetto corn hatchling,
Ooh, what was that like?
and those things have the coolest eyes I've ever seen on a corn.
It's a suboc.
They're just like gray and blue, and it was cool.
I was looking for a book on like the snakes of the Caucasus and Central Asia. There's nothing. I'm not sure if I'm just missing something, but I would love to learn more about that region because it's so unknown in Western circles, I guess.
Yeah, you got to get obviously it's venomous only, but Terralog produced a venomous snakes of Eurasia.
Yeah.
And it basically goes from Germany, or let me rephrase that. It goes from the Atlantic with the Vipera in England and Scandinavia, and it goes all the way east into like Azerbaijan and Georgia and stuff like that. And that book is awesome in terms of venomous stuff. But again, it's solely referenced, and there really isn't anything about the animals other than the little, the key that tells you, okay, it's a lizard eater, okay, it lives in an arid environment. There's no actual knowledge to be read.
I bet you there's some stuff, but it's in Russian.
Oh, I'm sure. Have you gone onto Chimera Publications and seen if there is like a Caucasus book?
No.
Okay, now I'm going to do that in that better because now I want one too.
You try to look up papers too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find any herpetologists in like Azerbaijan, Armenia, that kind of area, and see if I can get a contact over there and kind of use that to get myself into
I
that.
was saying, I'll bet you Nipper knows the right people, man.
Yeah.
I would also say that you should probably stay away from Azerbaijan and Armenia for a few months.
Oh, I know what's going on there. Yeah.
Thomas has been paying very close attention.
Yeah.
Thomas, are you Armenian or Azerbaijani?
No, I'm of Greek heritage.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey,
That's why he has that nice sun-kissed bronze sheen.
Yep.
As he's hunkered down, freezing his ass off on the porch.
Yep.
Billy, how's that T-shirt holding on?
Which one?
The one you're wearing.
Great.
Good.
Why, does it look like it's not?
No, I was saying that because they're cold and we're in the 70s.
Oh, okay. I thought you were taking a dig at me.
No. But I'm sharing this whether Billy likes it or not. Billy is a very busy little beaver.
Oh, jeez.
Is it that picture from last night?
No, I don't. What picture from last night?
Nothing.
Never
There's
mind.
no picture from last night.
I haven't been in the group chat in like days.
Freaking Anita just grabbed my phone and I wasn't paying attention to her.
Oh, that picture. That's going up. That's going up.
Come on.
I can't believe I'm going to save that.
Hey.
There they are.
Yeah, I need you to send me one of those because I got some folks who want some here that are in the group.
Got them ready. There's white and black.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, here.
You got to see what's the minimum order for get real cigar bands and deband some stuff and just put Snakes and Stogies on it.
take all the Liga labels off and just slap. Our private label.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't smoke it, but it'd be cool.
We wouldn't do it on a Liga. I would get our own stick.
Yeah, buy your own tobacco, roll it.
Well, it's not gonna carry
Dude,
away.
yeah, I was gonna say cigar rolling is a freaking art, man.
I've been wanting to get into it.
Man to do it.
It's got a Du Bois on the cover there, Bill. I just sent it to Phil.
Text or message me.
Speaking of Du Bois, what up with the article?
Article? What's that?
Killing me, Wolf.
Bro, I've literally done nothing but work.
I don't care.
And sleep. Where did you send this?
Philip.
Where did you send this picture?
To your phone,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Whoa,
Yeah,
where is
no.
this book? How do I get this book?
Snakes of Pakistan.
Steaks of Pakistan.
And it's all government officials.
That looks so good.
Oh, I'd buy that.
Yep, in New York Minute.
From Rafakat Masroor.
You
That's
just
awesome.
piss off the one Pakistani who watches this.
I'm entirely too monochromatic to be able to pronounce that correctly.
Yeah, I can't either. It's all good.
Rafakat Mansour.
He said he picked it up at Tinley.
Damn it. I can't go to Disney because I don't have
Can't.
$5 grand.
eBay.
You'll come with me when I vend it.
I'll come with you.
We'll see.
Oh, okay.
That was good. Thank you. Are you planning on
I feel like
vending
Billy's
it?
tired. Billy's tired of me enough as it is. I think he's probably like, I'm not getting stuck in a car with you for fucking 13 hours.
I wouldn't care because I'd already be in it for like 8 hours before I met up with him.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to get Justin. That's way off the beaten path.
Yeah, it would be.
It's not that far.
It's that far. I just did.
I'm right here.
We can
It
rendezvous
is for
at, like,
you.
a highway exit or something.
Dude,
When
it was literally 5 hours. It was 5 hours from Billy to you.
Yeah.
And it's only like 6.5, 7 hours from me to you.
So then what's the problem?
The problem is that if I go up and meet Billy in Tampa and then we go straight up to Tinley, I don't have to drive 5 hours to get your ex.
When are you going to Billy's? When you go to Billy's, I'm coming down there. How about that? We can go to Chili's.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
If you make the drive to come down so we don't have to go out of the way, I will get you all the honey chipotle crispers you could ever want.
I will second that.
I won't eat for like a
We'll get
week.
something good too for you.
You'll
Just
be
so I
in
can be
a
ready. My
And some
body is
street
ready.
corn.
And that ranch they make.
Oh yeah, you'll have it all.
I mean, when he comes to like give you, when you guys to swap snakes, is Phil like staying there the weekend?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I think Casey's coming down too, and I don't know what Casey and Billy are doing, but I would probably attempt to leave work early on a Saturday evening, and then spend the night at Billy's, and then probably have to go home Sunday evening, just because I can't get off from work.
Because I get a 3-day weekend once a month now, so
You get what?
I get a 3-day weekend once a month now.
Oh, nice.
Your agent negotiated that in your contract.
Yep.
Good for you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
So to answer your question, Phil, if I have a good breeding season and they actually have the show, yeah, I do plan on trying to Ben Tinley.
Sweet. Very sweet.
With you there.
All right, I'll make it happen.
All right, cool.
I'll make it
I'll
happen.
just go fuck myself.
You can come.
You're going to be there too, jeez.
You gotta take me with you, though. You gotta come get me.
No.
You already said you're coming to Tampa.
Yeah.
Justin, you can meet me in Greenville. We can go up there.
There you go.
Even better.
I smoke in my car, so
I do too.
Hey!
Yeah, I wouldn't be down with that.
Well, that's why I'm driving.
I would have to be down with that.
I smoke cigars in the car. I don't smoke cigarettes at all. So
Yeah, me either.
have fun with your secondhand smoke black lung there, Hunt.
Look,
Super cancer.
y'all have been in my car. It does not smell like cigarettes at all.
It actually doesn't. I was very impressed.
Very attentive to that. So,
The Subaru.
So then it's settled. I'll drive Billy up north. Anita can follow us in the truck with all the gear and the snakes.
Yeah, she probably won't come.
And then Justin will link up with Thomas, and we'll meet all one.
All right.
We have to get a cardboard cutout of Jake's head and put it on a popsicle stick and just bring it with us.
Because, I mean, we can all assume Jake's just not going to be able to make it, right?
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that?
It's fair.
Yeah.
Rip.
Okay. Because he won't hear this anyway, because he doesn't keep up with our shenanigans.
Wait a minute. Is Tinley in Cook County?
No, Tinley's in Chicago.
Yeah, but is it really Chicago, or is it Cook County proper?
Why?
Because then I won't be able to bring it done.
Oh.
That makes me sad.
I'll be surprised
Bulletproof
if
vests aren't illegal.
next year, honestly.
Wait, what did Justin say?
I said bulletproof vests aren't illegal.
That's true. All right, gentlemen. I have to wake up early and go to work on nonsense. So, I'm
Yeah, I
going
got to work tomorrow, too.
I gotta work too.
Same.
At 10. Wait, you don't have to go in until later too.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I got to go home. I got a ton of shit I got to do.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I have 200 rifles showing up before 10 a.m.
Send me one.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on.
It can be.
He said, Bill said it's South Cook County. Don't worry about the guns.
Nice.
So.
Excellent.
I wonder if there's reciprocity for South Carolina and Illinois.
No, because Illinois is.
That's what I thought, but
Yeah. So. All right, boys. Thank you for a lovely evening. Snake and Stogies,
Yep.
episode 52. Thank you to our sponsors, Puget Sound Pythons.
And Herpetoculture Magazine.
Herpetoculture
The best damn sponsors ever.
Hey, magazines.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Thomas, for joining. Thank you, Billy, for joining. We love you.
Anytime.
Love you.
See y'all fools later.
See ya.
Goodbye.